So welcome back, guys. We have had a couple of hurricanes coming through lately, so we haven't really been able to get on the boat and get out fishing. So we decided to kind of change it up a little bit and just go over some of the gear that we use today, like the rod and reel setup that we have, and just some of the lures that we might use on just a more consistent basis. The first one I got here is my 7'10" Banshee. And it is just a medium extra fast. I used to use it a lot more when I was kayak fishing, so I don't use it as much now. But if I were to be using it now, I'd use it more for my lighter setups. Right now, I would have the weighted shrimp on it. It's got just a slow sinker, 1/8 ounce weight, a little rattle in it. Chase Baits is actually the brand that I would use. And I don't really like to use it on the boat because I feel like I don't have a lot of accuracy during casting. It's just purely for getting it out as far as I want to get it out, and that's about it. So I kind of got away from using it on the boat because you can get a little bit closer and you can kind of be in a better area rather than just scanning and chucking all the time, which is a lot of what I used to do on the kayak. The reel that I have set up on here right now is the Ballistic MQ 2500. Get up and just show a little bit of it. This one's got the 8 ball bearings in it. It's got like a 5.2 gear ratio. I have 10-pound braid, which is pretty much what I'm always gonna run on this. It holds about 200, 250 yards of that. And mono would be just 20, just for allowing it to get that distance still. That's pretty much all I'm gonna use it for, just getting it as far as I can. So that's really all I got to say with that one, just because I kind of don't use it much on the boat, and in some of the videos, we just don't go on the kayak. Alright, so done with that rod. So gonna just move on to the next ones that I use. These next two is pretty much my primary rods. The first one I'm gonna show is just a Banshee 6'8". This one's a medium heavy, extra fast. I like it because it has a lot more accuracy, especially compared to the other one and just compared to some of the other 7-foot rods. And I use it a lot with the mangrove fishing, dock fishing. I actually run my 15-pound braid on this. This is the only one I have 15-pound braid on. And normally I'm gonna have 30-pound mono. Every once in a while I run 20, but normally I'm running 30-pound mono on this just because I like to use this one to be able to pull those fish out from some hard to get areas. I'm gonna use this one skipping under the mangrove lines, and like I said before, just skipping under the docks. I would also throw some chunk bait on this if I ever would use that. This is gonna be the rod that I'm gonna put that on. I would normally run the 3/16 weighted hook. Looks a lot like that, and I would normally also do a little larger bait. You see right now I have the 6-inch paddle tail on there, and I'm gonna either use that or a 5-inch shrimp on something like this. And the one thing I don't like is I do lose some of the casting distance on it. And also when I'm using some of my lighter gear, like an 1/8 ounce, I just don't seem to be able to feel and be able to get it through some of the areas I like to get it through, which is why I would run the 3/16 ounce weight on this instead, or even a 1/4 ounce. But the extra fast tip definitely helps with some of that. The reel I use on this is the Daiwa Fuego. I have come to like this better than the MQ. This one is very similar in the setup. It just has the 6 ball bearing. I believe this one still has the 5.3 gear ratio. This one does carry about 185 yards of my 15-pound braid that I'm normally going to be running on this medium heavy setup. It's got about 22 pounds of drag on it, which allows me to pull out some of those fish, and that's why I have it on this medium heavy one. It just gives me that backbone to kind of do whatever I want with it. I don't have to worry about anything. And so that's just mainly why this has been one of my go-to rod and reel setups. All right, so I'm with that one. The next one that I pretty much use all the time, this is my go-to, is the 7-foot TFO Professional. I like this one just because it does just kind of have a good everything. It's just a medium setup. I can run any weighted hook I like, anything from the 1/8 ounce to a 3/16, which is normally what I'm doing. And it just is all around good. It doesn't necessarily have the best accuracy. It doesn't have the best distance. It doesn't beat out any of my other ones in those specialty setups. But this one does just have that little bit of backbone that you need, the little bit of tip that you need, and it's just all around good for that. The setup that I normally have on and what I have now is just the 1/8 ounce shrimp. Shrimp is a go-to around here. They're always flowing through the Tampa Bay area. The reel I have on it is the Daiwa Fuego LT. This one's pretty similar to just the rest of them. I like to run a similar setup just so I kind of have that general feeling for everything, just around the clock. And this one still has about a 6-to-1 gear ratio. It's a little bit different than the others. It holds the 250 yards of 10-pound braid that I will run on something like this just for the all-around setup. And I'm gonna run the 20-pound mono on it. It doesn't really stray too far from that. That's kind of the main gist of it for my 3 setups that I'm using. AJ is more of a fan of the fluorocarbon. As you can see, I don't have any setups that have fluorocarbon on them. Not sure what you guys are into, but I don't know. I've found my niche, and the fluorocarbon just hasn't ever caught me more fish. I don't know if it's caught you guys more fish. It seems to kind of equal out with AJ with us on the boat. So let me know what you guys are thinking about that situation. But thank you guys for watching, and click that subscribe if you guys like, and we will be continuing and doing some more after these hurricanes pass by.